Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Uncovering Your Inner Power. I'm your host, Jill Ripley, and today I would like to talk about allowing the path to unfold before you without the chronic need to be certain of what's ahead. I may have mentioned previously that oftentimes in my meditations, I have inner visions that provide me with the guidance for the episodes I share. And during one of my recent meditations, the words that came to me were, moment by moment, the path is illuminated. And an image of a golden brick walkway rising up before me with each step I took formed in my mind. It felt real and profound, and immediately I knew I had to share the insights that were brewing inside me. Along this path that continued to be generated as I walked, there was a myriad of various landscapes. There were stretches of extreme beauty where there was lush greenery and flowers and magnificent trees. But there was also stretches where there were obstacles. I encountered large boulders that needed to be navigated. Some I was able to go around, some I had to climb over, and some needed to be broken through. In some cases, I saw snakes peeking out from the beautiful ground cover. It felt as though it was just something to look out for. What I realized from this experience was that no matter what I experienced along the path, I ultimately ended up where I was meant to be. And it was a peaceful and profound revelation. I began thinking about how desperately the mind wants to know what is ahead. We make plans, predict outcomes, rehearse conversations, and mentally walk through every possible scenario because knowing feels safe. We believe that if we can anticipate what is coming, perhaps we can protect ourselves from disappointment, pain, or making wrong decisions. It gives us a false sense of control. We may have carefully constructed vision of what our relationships, careers, families, finances, or futures are supposed to look like. But none of us can see the entire path. We can only see the stretch directly in front of us, moment by moment. I ask you to consider that this is not an obstacle we need to overcome, but rather a reality we need to settle into. Perhaps we were never intended to see the entire path. Perhaps life reveals itself moment by moment because this moment is the only place where we can actually live. When I return to the vision from my meditation, I'm struck by the way the golden bricks appeared beneath my feet as I walked. The path did not need to be fully formed before I began. It simply continued to rise and meet me. And I wonder how different life might feel if we trusted that our own paths could unfold the same way. What if we let go of the need to know where every decision would lead? What if we did not need proof that everything would work out before allowing ourselves to move forward? What if the next step is enough? We are so often trying to experience the future before it arrives. We imagine what might happen, how we might feel, and what could go wrong. We attempt to prepare ourselves for obstacles that may never appear. But in doing so, we can miss the stretch of path that is so beautiful in our experience in this very moment. We may overlook the beauty that surrounds us because we're already searching the horizon for the next boulder. In my vision, there were beautiful stretches and difficult stretches. Both belonged to the same path. The boulders did not mean I had taken a wrong turn. The snakes did not erase the beauty of the landscape. They simply asked me to remain present, aware, and be willing to navigate each experience as it was revealed. And perhaps that is true of life as well. Trusting the path does not mean believing that everything will always be easy. It does not mean ignoring obstacles or pretending that we're not afraid. It means allowing each part of the journey to reveal itself in its own time. When we reach a boulder, we can decide whether to walk around it, climb over it, or find a way through it. We do not have to make that decision before the boulder is ever even in front of us. The wisdom we need may be forged from the experience itself, and that is something we can bring with us into the next challenge. We sometimes look ahead at an imagined future and wonder how we could possibly handle it, but we forget that we will not necessarily meet that moment as the person we are today. We will have traveled farther, we will have learned more, we may have discovered new strengths, received unexpected support, or developed a clearer understanding of what matters to us. The person who will meet that moment is still becoming. Perhaps this is why we're not shown everything all at once. Maybe the hidden parts of the path are not being withheld from us. Maybe they simply do not belong to this moment. There's a gentleness in that thought. We do not need tomorrow's answers today. We do not need the strength for an obstacle we have not yet encountered. We only need to be here, aware of the steps beneath our feet and attentive to what is beginning to rise before us. If you're facing uncertainty in your own life, I invite you to pause and consider. What part of your future are you trying to see before it's ready to be revealed? And what has already been illuminated for you? Perhaps there is a small step you know you need to take. Perhaps there's something beautiful in this part of the journey that you have been too worried to fully experience. Or perhaps this is simply a time to become quiet and remain present and allow the path to continue forming. You do not have to force an answer. You do not have to know how the story ends. For this moment, it may be enough to trust that the next piece of the path will appear when you are close enough to it to walk upon it. Moment by moment, the path is illuminated. The beautiful landscapes will invite you to pause and receive them. The obstacles will ask something new of you. And every step will reveal a little more, not only of the path, but of yourself. So perhaps trusting the path is not about knowing where it leads. Perhaps it is simply the willingness to remain present as it unfolds. To notice what is here, to respond to what is real, and to allow tomorrow's path to wait for tomorrow. Enjoy this moment. You can enjoy the other moments when you get there. For today, trust what has been illuminated. Let that be enough. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this reflection brought you a little peace, please like, subscribe, or share it with someone who may also need the reminder that they do not have to see the entire path. You can also follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my newsletter for more conversations about healing, personal growth, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom. You'll find those links in the show notes. And until next time, beautiful souls, allow the path to rise before you and trust that you will meet each moment as it comes.